Hi guys, and welcome back to the Study Hack series. This is the 31st episode of the series, and in this one we'll be looking at working out, whether it's good to show you working out, the advantages, disadvantages and so on. So again, we'll start with a quote, which is, "Little by little does the trick." That is by Aesop. So often, many students show they're working out, others don't, and obviously they do it to different extents. And in terms of not showing the working out, the most common reason that students give is, or students have for not doing it, is probably their laziness. They just can't be bothered to do it, and they feel that they can get the correct answer without having to show they're working out. Another reason they give is that it saves time. So in an exam, those few seconds that you spend, instead of doing the working out, you just write down the answer. Those seconds saved are helpful in terms of saving time and spending time on other things in the exam, or more time on other questions and so on. So does that make it a good thing to do? In other words, are the advantages there of not showing your working out worth the disadvantages? In other words, do the pros outweigh the cons? So I'm going to focus on sort of like maths, because that's the most common subject where we talk about working out. Obviously, there are other subjects as well, like science, in which working out can be a big thing. So like in the case of science, if you write out a formula, for example, sometimes in a mark scheme, they award marks for having written out that formula. So that's a way of actually picking up marks. But obviously, we're trying to keep it along the theme of maths, and you can see how you can incorporate that with other subjects. So the most common thing with maths, the reason why it's really important to show you're working out, the first reason is that in maths they award something called method marks. So obviously you're going to get, if you're answering a question, you do all your working out and then you write your answer, there's going to be a mark for the correct answer, but there are also going to be method marks for showing or how you got to that answer. So that this stage you got correct, this stage you got correct, this stage you got. So for example, it's a 4 marker, you might get 1 mark for the answer, and then or not 2 marks or whatever, and then the other 2 or 3 marks are for all the working out. So that is a massive reason for actually showing your working out, is that you can actually pick up more marks, in other words, method marks. Okay? Now, another reason for showing your working out is minimizing risk. In other words, if you show your working out, you are far more likely to get the correct answer. Let me give you an example what I mean. If you have a student, this is a basic example, a student, there's a question 150 divided by 4, and they think they know the answer and they just write it down, okay? As opposed to the student that actually does 150 divided by 4 in short division and works out the actual answer. Now, we know that in the first case, there's going to be time saved, but in the second case, because they've done the working out, they've done the method, and they've gone through the exact process of doing it, they're going to be far more likely to get the actual question correct. And that is why I call it minimizing risk, because the more working out you do, the higher the chances of you actually getting the correct answer. So that's another benefit of doing working out. A third benefit is that it helps you actually remember the technique for actually going about a question. So the formula, for example, if you write out the formula, then you rearrange the formula, and then you substitute the numbers in and do it all written rather than doing it mentally, like trying to do everything mentally, then when you get a similar question again to do with that formula, to do with that technique, you're far more likely to remember that because you've done it before. When you did it the first time and you wrote it all out on paper, that actually creates connections in your head, in your brain, that helps you remember that content and that whole process, so that when that process comes back again, it becomes a lot easier. So that is another massive advantage in terms of remembering techniques and formulae and methods for how to get the correct answer. You're more likely to remember it when you actually do working out. And finally, now this is a hidden benefit, something that people don't look at, or they overlook, students, is that if you, say you're struggling in a question, you don't know what to do, like you don't know how to get the right answer. And if you just try experimenting and doing some random working out, and I've been there before, I try out different things. Okay, let's try out working this out, and try this from this avenue and this avenue. And by doing that working out, actually something clicks in your head. Okay, this is how you get the right answer. If I hadn't done the working out and tried out different things with working out, then probably wouldn't have actually gone down that route to get to the correct answer. So through experimentation and trying out working out, I was able to actually get more marks and get the correct answer, because that trial and error, or trying different things out, helped me or made something click in my head, and like the penny sort of dropped about how to go about answering the question correctly. So that's another massive advantage. So in conclusion, the action step would be to always show you're working out and don't worry about trying to save time a few seconds here and there. Actually, the advantage of showing you're working out massively outweigh the disadvantages. And so, obviously minimizes risks, helps remember the technique, you get method marks, and of course, the hidden benefit of maybe possibly going down a route which actually helps you get the correct answer through experimentation. Okay, so please like this video, comment down below, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel so you keep on getting content, and I will see you in the next study hack.